Sonic 1991 Manga Chapter 1 by Hirokazu. Why does it have to say Chapter 1 when that's what the previous story also had in its title? That's needlessly confusing. We start out with a story called Strong-Willed Tanya, where Sonic's sister Tanya is kidnapped by Eggman, but somehow has the guts to yell at him to bring her something to eat, and that intimidates him into giving her a bunch of food. Maybe he had an abusive mother like Mama Robotnik again, and she reminded him of her, so it's force of habit for him. That's the only explanation, because normally Robotnik would punish her. I guess this is also why, in the OVA, Eggman put up with Sarah bossing him around. I guess me starting out in media rods without knowing how Tanya got kidnapped is a result of knowing the Sonic fanbase caring enough to put the story before this up on the internet. But it's not so bad. She tells the robot to read her a picture book until she falls asleep, and tells another robot to prepare a bed for her because she wants an afternoon nap. How do they have a picture book? Is Eggman that immature? I guess the robots do this because they're programmed to obey anyone who intimidates them enough. But if that's the case, well, that's very stupid programming. It'd actually be harder for Eggman to program free will and have them obey whoever's the most intimidating than it would be for them to have more restrictive programming. I guess Eggman can out-intimidate them no matter what, and that's the failsafe. She remembers that she's a hostage, which frustrates me because I thought she knew she was one, and was intentionally acting that way because she's just that brave and doesn't take Eggman seriously. So she went from cool to making me wonder she's a spoiled brat, and this is how she always acts, and she just forgot she was talking to Eggman. Sonic gets spotted on Eggman's security camera, and Eggman says he set up traps in the secret base. I'm glad it's secret to explain why he's not arrested. And first, he has the trap door. Sonic would have to be really stupid to just stand there doing nothing for no reason, which is the only reason he'd ever fall into a trap door. It'd make more sense if he looked around and couldn't find any way of progressing, and so he jumped into an open trapdoor on purpose out of desperation. So he slides straight into Eggman, who at least lampshades that he goofed up, but still, that wouldn't have happened. He'd at least remember that the trapdoor slide led to here, and walk away, and maybe even put a brick where Sonic was going to land so that he'd kill him. At the very least, Sonic could be just stated to lose his rings, so he could get some slapstick and harmless bruises and Eggman would look smart, which would make him actually work as a proper villain, as opposed to here. He sends some water at Sonic, who at least admits that he's not good with water. So, the Sonic 1 manga had him swim, but the one that's not close to the games remembers that he's scared of water. I'm glad this isn't close to the games though, because that's necessary to make it interesting. However, because Deus Ex Machina, Sonic finds a life raft in a place like this, while it's Eggman who's floating. Oh, so Eggman was the life raft. That's not so cheap then. He could have gone somewhere safe where he wouldn't be made to float in the water and then activated the trap. But I guess he thought he was really pressed for time because Sonic could save Tanya any day now and instantly run out of the base. She rides piggyback on Sonic because he already got away from the water flooding the room with no setbacks whatsoever. We should be told how old she is. He avoids fire and falling lances as I wonder if Sonic's speed force extended to Tanya to protect her from getting hurt by the negative side effects of Sonic moving super fast and stopping super fast. Then after Eggman complains about Sonic being too fast, out of nowhere he suddenly gets into a police uniform in the next panel with no goddamn indication of a time skip and says he's going to arrest Sonic for being over the speed limit by 200 kilometers an hour. How did he get dressed that fast? How did he get undressed and dressed that fast? We weren't told he was a literal wizard, and of course they wouldn't want to see him get undressed in front of them, and they weren't reacting to that. It's also stupid that Sonic looked intimidated. He's not a cop, so he can't arrest him. And it doesn't matter anyways, because Sonic just runs away to leave the base, and they foolishly stop and celebrate just outside of it as Eggman watches them in security footage. If he was smart, he would have had a button to shoot a missile at whoever was just outside his base. But I guess because of the previous issue, he wants Sonic alive so he could capture him to use him as his lackey. But all those traps were lethal looking. You're telling me the lances were just meant to knock him out? He doesn't have a roboticizer. Tanya then says she wants to go in there one more time because it was fun. Okay, I like her. She's at least more fun than Sonya. Even if she really should have a skirt instead of her only indication of gender being an earring and eyelashes. I don't even know what color she is. It's weird that the video doesn't show a colored cover for the story. I mean, I have a Four Swords Adventure manga. I have two, and they have colored manga covers. Isn't that good form? Because you have to have that so you know what color the characters are at least. And Sonic's like her because he's amused, showing good chemistry with her. And Eggman complains that this isn't an amusement park. And that was the end of the story. Well, that was short, but at least it told me how Tanya was as a character. She's really brave, being amusingly gutsy enough to order Eggman and his robots around. I wish Tanya did that instead of just acting like a realistic kidnapping victim. And she's fun-loving, not being scared as Sonic runs away from the base with her. All Amy did in response to danger last issue was scream like a baby. A complete contrast from how she is now. So it's sad that Sonic's sister is showing more chemistry with him than his girlfriend. This was a fun story, but it's hard to believe Eggman would be that incompetent. How do you not remember that Sonic was going to land on him after going on that slide? How did the flood only make Eggman suffer, and Sonic immediately escaped just fine? Wouldn't the water flood the entire base instead of only one tiny room that isn't shown to be of a lower elevation than the others?